Okay, don't mind the washing machine and the AC going because it's gonna be kind of loud in here. But anyway, project. This is why we can't have nice things. Slash project. I don't want to own an actually aspirated car. Apparently, is well underway here. It's my '89 Daytona with the 3-speed auto that I'm going to be putting this monstrosity of a motor on. And as you can see, I care so much about it that I put crappy bolts in it so it can fall on the floor. So anyway, that's the original block out of it. It's a 2.5 naturally aspirated TBI motor, 89 common block. The only real issue I had with it was burning oil slightly. And I think that was to do with the head kind of chugging in oil through the valve guides. So I rebuilt the head myself and in my backyard with underneath an oak tree on top of some 2x4s, but you know, whatever, get it done. Had good compression, blah blah blah. Front main seal was leaking was the main thing I hated about it. It'd pour about 6 quarts of oil out over 60 miles or so. From Kansas City to Topeka, it could be like you could overfill it and it would be gone by the time you got there. Anyway, this motor was kind of shot, and I didn't want to deal with trying to turbocharge this thing because I'd have to modify the block a little bit because it's a naturally aspirated block. Obviously, I'd have to put a bung right here in that boss to get the oil return and blah 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 blah. Anyway, a friend of mine gave me this block. It's a 2-2 common block, so as you can see, there's no balance shaft spots for it, which you can see just right here. There's spots to put a balance shaft and whatnot. Blah 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 blah. Doesn't have that garbage. We don't need it. So, 2-2 common block. The original TBI 2.5 crank out of that. Some random, like out of 3 different sets, I have 2.5 or 2.2 T2 rods. I have all these different cars. You can tell by the different length rod bolts. Good stuff. This is the original water pump. Basically, this was just a block. It was just a block, literally nothing else on it. Just the block. I'm putting crap on it now. It's got 30 over pistons because I had the block 30 over. I found those pistons are original Mahle Mopar ones from on eBay. I got them for $45 shipped because I guess someone would want to get them off their shelf. I sat there with a grinder and balanced all of the rods myself. We'll see how that turns out. As you can see, there's no casting mark on the side of them. Those are gone. I'm at the point where I need a new intermediate shaft. So I was putting these bearings in with it like an idiot and broke it because it was bottoming out right here on this shaft's lip. I was smacking it, exploded. Anyway, I got that bearing in there in. I got this bearing in here in by making my own tool with some all thread. Yeah, big old shaft all thread there. I would keep tension on it while my friend would smack the back of it with a hammer and would move the bearing in. And I would just keep cranking a bolt on top of a washer, pushing the bearing in, and he'd smack it and it'd keep getting in there. I think it's going to be good. We shall see. It would suck if it didn't. Yesterday I got this front main cover on, front main seal in, and I got the pulley on with cog for the timing belt. So at this point, just need the intermediate shaft. I need a new oil pump because the one I got is smoked. It has cuts and bruises and scars all the way through it because I literally ran whatever motor oil I had in this thing. If I did a motor oil change on my truck, on the Daytona, the other Daytona, and if I did it on my friend's truck, literally anything, I would pour it straight in this. I'd write on the bottle, Daytona ready, and I'd pour it in there because it's all going to leave anyway. Might as well use it. I think I've changed the oil in that thing twice since I started driving it. That was probably 20,000 miles because it would pour all the oil to the block that I didn't care. So anyway, this is going to have a 57, 55, whatever they claim to be, eBay 50 trim. It's going to have a T3 manifold, as you can see here. It's apparently been poured from what I can tell, and then someone tapped it to put in a T3 flange. Running a T, I think 1 intake I'm not too familiar with it, what the two-piece came on, but I'm running a one-piece intake. The head I built myself, kind of. I had the machine shop redo the valve seats and the valve guides because I don't have the stuff to do that myself. I put Caravan 3.3/3.8 springs in it because they're beehives. They can rev higher and it's a lot less wear on your valve train. The original 89 TBI Cam. It's got PT Cruiser lifters, as you can see right there. So not that this isn't going to make a lot of stink, but it should run pretty decent. I got to run T2 injectors because that's what I have. I will probably upgrade that eventually. So yeah, this is just all spare parts and garbage I had laying around my house. Hopefully she runs good. I'm going to try to run a 3-speed auto if I can. I can't use the TBI auto because it will blow up. And I checked the inside of this thing and it is disgusting. It is absolutely atrocious. However, because it's a 89 and up transmission, it does have the 12-bolt ring gear. It is a technically stronger transmission than these over here. These are some early 3-speed autos out of I don't know what. I took one apart and figured out that it is too old for me to give a crap about because it has 3 forward, was it rear? No, it's 3 rear drum clutches on it in it. And I'd rather have a 4 one with a 12-bolt ring gear. These have an 8-bolt ring gear, so I'm not going to deal with them. They're basically the same strength as that TBI one, and I don't care about that. So hopefully I can find one of those, send that thing to the moon, because I'm going to try to put my own shift kit in it. I have a shift kit in here somewhere. I have Alta green clutches, which are one up from the factory stuff, so not amazing race stuff, but they're pretty heavy duty. Hopefully it'll live up to this. I'm not going to run this on like 30 pounds of boost or nothing. Not that it would make any power at that level anyway. The head doesn't flow enough. I'm going to run a big old, I think this is a 15,000 pound oil cooler for the transmission. So it's, I don't know, 8 inches by 5 inches. Not big. They don't need to be big, from my understanding. So this would be pretty cool. And here's the turbo itself. And just for size reference, that is a 6262 next to it. So slightly smaller. This is an 800 horsepower turbo if you go full stank on it. And this one is 450, ready to spin the bearings out of it, I guess. Who knows? It's China. It was literally $99. I'm kind of worried about this canister hitting the intake because this is, so close on one. All the stuff is on one side of the motor, so it might hit into each other. So we shall see. Yeah, and because I'm running the 2.2 block without the balance shafts and stuff, I'm gonna need to figure out where I can get a 2.2 pickup because I have a 2.5 pickup originally out of it. Obviously, this is the 2.5 oil pan. It doesn't have any way of baffling the oil, so if you take a corner too hard, all your oil sloshes to one side. And normally that wouldn't be a problem for these motors because there's a balance shaft in here. I don't have a windage tray, so I'm going to have to get a 2.2 pan with the windage tray built into it, and the pickup is different for the same purpose. So, cool project. Oh, and I installed a $30 eBay 255 pump in it. Same exact pump I have in my PT Cruiser. I've been running for 3 years now on 26 pounds of boost on E85. It seems to be chooching pretty good. In fact, this is the part here. If you want to check that out, that's pretty cool. I had to adapt it because it's a newer style fuel pump. The old style fuel pump has an opening like this big. Obviously, you've probably seen the new ones are like, 3/8, size hole. Much, much smaller. So I had to adapt it. And anyway, the other thing I'll be doing is running a Honda half-style radiator because factory TBI radiator is literally from here all to their side. That means I don't have anywhere to put my charge pipes unless I run it down there. And if you've seen a Daytona, there is not much room below that rad support. These cars are really low to the ground for some reason. And the second thing I'll need to do is move this over somehow, this AC condenser. I'm going to try to keep that. That'd be sweet if I could keep it. If I can move that over, run some charge pipes through here, that would be awesome. If not, I'm gonna have to get pretty creative. I'm gonna be running an MR2 style Rev 9. It's one in, one out, but it's on the same size, so I can run the pipe from the turbo down into it. Air will go through it, come back out, run to the throttle body. So hopefully that'll work out too. Not much room to work in here with it, and probably won't be much room right there considering the turbo, the intake, all that jazz is sitting right above that cross member there. Good stuff. Still got the factory TBI harness in it. The friend who gave me the block actually gave me this wiring harness, and my buddy DJ and I, mainly him, but we sat down over the course of multiple days, tore this harness completely apart, fixed any soldering joints that were on it that were bad, because there was some like mouse damage and whatnot, and we put new tape on it. This is the cloth tape, kind of like factory. Put all the same junction joints back in it. So as far as I'm concerned, this thing is ready to drop in, good to go. So that'd be cool. I got this turbo hood for like 20 bucks. It's got the turbo bump bulge in it. That's cool. And then the plans are to try to run some 17s on this. I have a pair or a set of 17s off my PT Cruiser that I got when I swapped. Well, they eventually started leaking because they're chrome, like all PT Cruiser rims do. But I think it'd be pretty cool to clean them up, put some 17 wheels on this, and then if I ever want to swap the tires to a different set of rims, I can do that. And all my cars will have 17s with similar sized tires on them. And I'd be able to swap rims, tires, because they're all the same bolt pattern. And it'd be super quick and super easy. Should I pop them, need another tire off something, whatever, then I can use my reserve tires. Like those are 235, 45, 17s, I think. I don't know, whatever run on my Neon. So you can run some pretty fat tires in the front here. But anyway, that's the project. It's pretty cool. And then once I get done with all that jazz, I'm going to put an electronic dash in it, because I have one I bought years and years ago, and then repaint this car back to factory color, make it look real nice, and then drive it as a daily and probably blow up the transmission. Who knows? Let me know what you guys think. Here's the rig. Here's the dash. Here's power. Do this one-handed or not.